Good evening, it is Matt Rogers. It is now the 16th of the 6th, 2018, and I have a folder of new photos, new videos that have come through of showing these big changes across our world again. Now, to start with on this video, I would like to just play a revelation of Wormwood, speaking out of this truther that's giving detail the information of the coming catalysm. Let me just play this information for you, please.
Let me diverse just for one moment to show you how quickly this world can change.
Okay,
very
sure.
quickly. I indicated that not all world catastrophic events result in a pole shift. Well, I don't believe you're aware, maybe you are, but I don't believe most people are aware that just a few thousand years ago, at 705 BC, a major worldwide catastrophic event occurred. It actually shifted the entire planet, but it was not a pole shift. In fact, during that time, King Hezekiah reigned, and the sun moved backward in the sky. It did not set, it simply, the planet stopped revolving in its current direction, and it moved backward about 10 hours worth, of almost half of a revolution. And then whatever gravitational wave or passing space body affected it, it released it, and then it continued to move forward in the same direction. At that very same time, 705 BC, according to our current calendar, the ancient Chinese, who were great astronomers, they recorded that the sun set twice in the same day. It set, it rose back up from the west, and it set again. Now,
that sounds like we were doing the moving.
Right. Now, during that time, before that time, we have discovered, it is very well documented over hundreds of years. There are historically 15 ancient calendars that were discovered before that time, that existed before 705 BC. 15 ancient calendars. Every one of those calendars has 360-day years. Every calendar is based on a 360-day year. After that event, every calendar for the next 5 years, all around the planet, all the civilizations changed their calendars. The Assyrians, the Chaldeans, the Egyptians, the Hebrews, the Persians, the Greeks, the Chinese, the Mayans, the Hindus. There's every civilization that existed during that time over the next 5 years readjusted their calendars to 365-day years.
Something happened. How did they know this?
They knew it because the stars didn't line up. In fact, they took various approaches. It was very interesting. Numus Pompilius, the second king of Rome, recognized the original calendar, but he added 5 days per year to it to adjust. King Hezekiah, Numus' contemporary at that same time, reorganized the Jewish calendar in a very bizarre way. He added a month each Jewish leap year on a cycle of every 7 and 19 years to make up the adjustment. Other civilizations made different adjustments as they saw the rotational speed of the Earth change as it moved around the sun. So over the period of the next 5 years, all the civilizations caught up to 365-day years. And today, we have 365-day years, but we didn't have that in the immediate past. Before 705 BC, they were 360 days.
That is amazing.
So it just shows you that not all global catastrophic events, it also shows you how frail we are. We don't know what caused that, but we assume it was a passing space body because we are no longer near the galactic plane like we're approaching now. So if something that small, a passing space body, could cause that, obviously with enough gravitational pull to affect the planet, As our entire solar system passes through this gravitational plane, we expect massive upheaval, as we're starting to see with the earthquakes. And then as we pass through it, we expect to be bombarded by a series of small asteroids, followed by larger asteroids as we continue to pass through it. The asteroids, of course, are the dust and the settling matter along the dark rift. And this is where I come back to your question about Wormwood. The prophecies that you're talking about, the one that specifically mentions Wormwood, it mentions that after it talks about a series of events, starting with a pole shift of no less. The exact wording would be similar to the sky recedes as a scroll when it's rolled up, and every mountain and island is moved off of its foundation. Well, if you look at the planet and use terminology that you don't have scientific terminology back then, but if you use whatever terminology you have and you say that every mountain on the planet and every island on the planet is moved off of its foundation, that certainly sounds like a pole shift to me.
Absolutely.
But what we expect in our model is exactly what the prophecies then indicate. Now that your atmosphere is stripped, I mean, it just said it rolled away like a scroll. You are at risk to incredible solar radiation or CME blasts. And what is the next prophecy in this series of things? You have literally, if I can, let me find what I would like to do is I would like to find a phrase that describes that particular event. Here it is. Let me read to you a phrase from one of the prophecies that you're referring to, and explain it. And hail and fire followed, mingled with blood, and they were thrown to the earth, and a third of the trees were burnt up.
They're mine.
Okay, now, remember, they don't have scientific terms. If you rip apart the atmosphere of Earth with a pole shift, you are now exposing the upper atmosphere. If a CME blast from the sun, coronal mass ejection, now makes it to the Earth because its magnetosphere has been altered. In other words, our quote, what is protecting the Earth is now down. We are easily susceptible to the solar winds. In other words, the CME from the sun. That is the fire. Also, as it approaches the upper atmosphere, the 270 degrees minus Celsius temperature of the outside frigid space now touches the upper atmosphere, which is basically water vapor. It would suddenly turn to ice crystals instantly. There's your ice. The hail, which is ice, and fire, the CME, are mixed together and mingled with blood. You're looking at a sequence. It is now moving toward the Earth. What is instantly vaporized? These 43,000 airplanes that are flying at any given moment, and all the people aboard, plus all the flying birds and animals in the air.
Gone.
So in other words, there's your mingled with blood, and then it continues. What does it do? It continues to make it to the deck, and they are thrown to the earth, and a third of the trees are burnt up. In other words, this is a great sequence of events to describe a simple CME blast that literally fries a third of the planet.
But the fact they were able to predict this is scary.
Now, the next sequence of events is what we would also expect. You have small asteroids hitting the land, hitting the sea, followed by a very large asteroid, what is referred to as Wormwood. Now, this is the really interesting part about Wormwood. You wanted me to give you my take on it. It seems to be a significant... Now, how do they actually... What divine information presents? What divine information they acquire in order to give you an exact sequence in such extreme detail that science can't even begin to touch. I mean, I'll have to leave that to you for right now. But they discuss Wormwood not because it's significant so much, but because of what it does next. A very large, what is like a star or an asteroid, falls to the Earth, and the very next thing that happens is a third of the day and a third of the night don't shine. A third of the moon, a third of the stars, a third, etc. But this is not an obscuration.
Right.
This
It's
isn't-
not like dust in the air.
No, because dust in the air is described next, and it uses different words. This is actually a speeding up of the planet. The asteroid Wormwood actually hits the planet at an angle, so our Earth speed no longer is 365 days. And we now know that it is very simple to alter the spin of the Earth because it happened 705 BC. So basically, we have a whole sequence of events. How they could know anything about this is beyond human ken. I'm just telling you that just right up front. So prophecy is absolutely amazing, but what is more amazing to us is we created a scientific model, a very precise scientific model, and we see that these prophecies model very precisely what we feel this model would present.
Now, that was a very interesting broadcast of the truth. And when we listen to these broadcasts and we read in between the lines, there is something that's going on. Our atmosphere is indeed being stripped. We do now see a white sun in the sky. Now, I'm going to show you some up-to-date photos that have come through from our community again. Let me just show you these images of the skies of today. Okay, a message of importance. Now, many people explain as well through emails that they send comments out and they disappear. They are written differently. So what's going on? Again, it states here from this kind person in our community, "Hi Matt, it's Christian Witness. Just wanted to tell you that sometimes when I try to make a comment on YouTube, the words on the screen are not what I am typing, and it's as if the keyboard is being controlled. I am experienced typist of many years, so I know I'm pressing the right keys. Today it's been very difficult to comment. Christian love from Heather." So indeed, those in power, are they doing this? Just hiding and removing comments and altering comments as we carry on. Let me just take you to other photos, and Heather, please have a blessed day. Okay, now this image has come in from a skywatcher from the United States called Bob. Now, Bob has just taken this photograph just 5 minutes ago. Now, like on the speaking through the revelation of Wormwood, our atmosphere is indeed being stripped, and the shields are down. Look what they do, spraying our skies. Now, indeed, are we expecting a huge solar flare? Because if one gets through, that wipes out our power grids. That will cause a big problem to humanity. So the spraying continues. See, the thing is, Bob can see the area of the white sun, these chemical formations, but then he takes images to the other side. Look at these in detail. Okay, so when we look at the white sun, we turn around to the other side of the horizons, to the west, to the south, and we're picking up these strange formations in the sky, but indeed we're picking up a pink colour reflecting, beaming through from the area that we're supposed to see of the soul, which in the past, when we saw the golden yellow sun, when we used to look at the other side, we would just see white cloud formations. Everything was just normal. But now we're seeing these different colours. Evidence is out there, folks. Here's the other photo that Bob sent through as well. Just another strange chemical formation that those in power are hoping that the public think that these are normal. A dark sky and these other strange colours that are reflecting on these formations. Here we have another email that's come through from Crystal. "Hello Matt, I hope all is well. I captured some sunset photos this evening. This is a total chem sky. Genocide for sure. Southern Pennsylvania. Here, take care and God bless. Crystal, you have permission to use the photos." Let me just check some of these photos out for all of us. See, indeed, Crystal is right, because the after effects from what they've been hiding in the sky during the afternoon, we're starting to see the golden sun going down on the horizon, and many formations of geoengineering spraying harmful chemicals across our skies. We have another interesting Skywatch photograph that's brought in by Jamie in our community, showing you as well the natural cloud systems to the horizon, but we see this strange sonic formation moving across our sky, and it cloaks and covers everything before the sundown, just to the upper area of the screen. Tom from Western Virginia sent some attachments through, very interesting skies. I mean, look at the formations, and still they cover up the truth. I mean, this sky again is in a silvery haze. What you're seeing on the screen is not natural, just chemicals binding together. Taking a closer view of the strange skies that were just brought in moments ago by this kind person. Indeed, everything on the screen is not natural. The whole of the skies are being sprayed in different regions, different places. And when we do see the change of the white sun, this is what happens. Clearly, there is a situation upon us. Okay, we've got another new email that's come through from Reu. It states, "Dear Matt, as an avid watcher of your channel for a long time, it does not surprise me even a little bit that there are too many people out there who don't believe what is happening around them, let alone even acknowledge that there is something strange about it all. The most common reaction I've had is, really? And I say, yes, really. If you care for your well-being, do something about it. And the conversation just ends. Nobody wants to take ownership, let alone responsibility. However, much they seem to be the Good Samaritan, so just keep trying." In that vein, I was having a coffee in my backyard, and I just, as habit, would look up and found this very strange cloud system right above my head. It was just about 10:30 a.m. I guess. So I captured that, and to the right side of it, and the short of the fake soul. Appreciate your hard work and great effort at enlightening hard-nosed people. I will continue to keep sending you my photographs. Feel free to share them on your videos. This is a blanket suggestion. Let people know, even in Canada, among those who are hand in glove with the HARP Agendas 21s. Stay blessed, BSN, Reu. Indeed, it's true, isn't it? And it's a simple factor of evidence. All you have to do is go outside, watch these formations, picking up these strange colours as well. I'm now going to show you these two interesting photographs that were sent in by this kind person that sent this email of truth. This is the first image of this person that again has taken the image of these strange formations in the skies of 2018 June. Look at the reflection again. If you look closely, there is a green reflection upon those formations. Let me take you to the other photograph, because we pick up also a pink reflection on the other formation. Again, like all the photographs that come through, all the evidence and the information is indeed overwhelming, because again, when you talk about Wormwood and you listen to the revelations and go through all the information about the biblical verses, you can pick up and notice the truth. You can see the skies have changed now. This other photograph again to the left side, you've got this pink reflection, and to the upper area of this formation there is a green colour. Every day they come through and all the photographs are just so on the ball with the truth. This is what we want. So indeed, what I'm going to do is I am going to go now, and I will produce another video very shortly. It's important, isn't it? I've got thousands of photographs to deal with now today, and I will build another archive as we all have to get this information out. So, like I always say, don't let those in power think for us now. Look up towards the heavens, look around at your surroundings, and think for ourselves. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless, from Matt Rogers.